Gentleman from Northern Chesapeake.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Senate Bill 818 will direct the State Board of Education to develop and implement a grade-level appropriate curriculum that will talk with students about mental health and emotion problems. I move that the bill pass.
Chair recognizes Senator Chase, the junior senator from Chesterfield.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to speak to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to thank the patron for identifying such a critical issue with our young folks, and the increased risk of suicide that we see today in our schools, the elevated risk of depression and every other kind of issue we have. I've actually spoken with one of my stakeholders in Chesterfield County who still has concerns about this bill, and I've actually spoken to her, and I thank the patron for allowing me to talk to her. But what I want to address here is the concern that we are asking the wrong questions with this bill. We are asking the wrong questions. We can't take away the rights of parents without accepting responsibility. What we are actually doing, we are literally advertising suicide, anxiety, and depression to tiny minds that cannot comprehend consequences and then have the parents removed because of technology. Let me explain myself. You may or may not know this, but in almost every single class now, our kids are getting socio-emotional learning. Standards means mental health is being given in every class, in every grade. And this was actually going on long before COVID. And so she has concerns about the bill. I'm going to trust the stakeholders and my group who have really done a great job through Virginians for Children First in my area. They oppose the bill, and for that reason, I respectfully, while I appreciate the sentiments of the patron, I'm going to have to gently vote against this bill. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the senior senator from Richmond, Senator McClellan.
Thank you, Madam President. Speaking to the bill.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. We actually added to the code a while ago, at least pre-pandemic, requirement that the health class, the PE class, include information on mental health and age-appropriate mental health awareness to help children identify in each other signs of mental illness, begin to destigmatize mental illness. And what this bill actually does is tell the Board of Education to help create the age-appropriate curriculum around that, because how you deal with that with a fourth grader is different than how you deal with that with an eighth grader. And I can tell you as a parent who has a child who has had some anxiety issues, who has had some sensory processing issues, I'm not always equipped because I am not trained to teach him at the age level that he is. It is very difficult for somebody in their 30s, 40s, or 50s to be able to explain the concept of mental illness, anxiety, depression, or how to identify in yourself or someone else the beginnings of a condition and what to do about it. It's very difficult to communicate that at a kindergarten, second, or third grade level. And so what this bill does is have the Board of Education create more specific age-appropriate curriculum to give our teachers who do have the ability to talk to students in that class more than parents will on what they will understand, to break it down even further for age-appropriate, evidence-based, how do you identify and remove the stigma around so that our kids can help themselves and help others, and more importantly, identify to their parents and give them the tools they need to be able to communicate to their parents when something's wrong. Because without that, they're going to continue to feel feelings they don't understand and not have the ability to articulate to their parents or counselors or someone who can help them. And as a result, children are dying, quite frankly. So I ask that you pass this bill.
Chair recognizes Senator Morrissey, the junior senator from Richmond.
Madam President, would the gentle lady from Chesterfield County yield for a question?
Will the gentlelady rise and yield?
I yield.
Senator Morrissey has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I would ask the gentle lady, did I understand her correctly to say a few moments ago that this bill is, quote, advertising suicide, end quote?
Senator Chase has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. And to the senator, what I would give to you is a specific example in Chesterfield County Public Schools as an assignment. In Chesterfield County Schools, 11-year-olds are invited to identify known narcotics in their home, go identify it, take the lid off, take a picture of it, and post it in the assignment. Madam President, my question would be, if that child ingests that narcotic, whose responsibility is it if that child commits suicide or overdoses on that medication? While I understand the intention of this bill, we are constantly we're constantly introducing this concept to children who aren't even thinking about this at such early ages that their minds cannot understand and comprehend it. And that is my concern, Madam President.
Senator Morrissey.
Madam President, would the gentle lady yield for a final question?
Another question, Senator Chase. Will you yield?
I yield.
The gentlelady yields. Senator Morrissey has the floor.
I would ask the gentle lady if she understands the difference and the distinction between advertising for suicide versus what the gentle lady from Richmond said, trying to identify signs of mental illness. Does the gentle lady understand the difference?
Senator Chase has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. And I would address the gentleman. I understand the unintended consequences of this bill and what it is actually doing. Whenever I see a father whose 12-year-old daughter in the committee is in tears crying because he does not understand why his child is no longer around and committed suicide. And the answer is because in each and every one of these classrooms at every single age, kids are constantly bombarded with messages about, are you depressed? Are you suicidal? If I talk about the color red, what color are you going to think about? I would ask the gentleman.
Is that a question, Senator?
Question, yes.
Senator Morrissey has the floor.
I thank the gentle lady, and I do not yield.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Senator Favola, the gentlelady from Arlington.
Thank you, Madam President.